what's up, everybody, and welcome to On the Hop with Coach Chop. Today, we have joining us Brandon Anderson from Alpha Leo Productions. Brandon, man, how you doing today?
Man, I'm fabulous. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Good, man. That's what's up, man. Well, let's just dive right into it, man. What sparked your passion for capturing content and promoting athletes in our area?
Well, honestly, it's kind of a long story, but to make it a short story, my son, he actually started, really getting into football in 8th grade. And when I grew up, I actually grew up racing motocross, and my father would always come out, and try to film. But man, he'd be shaky. He'd be out of the shot,
right.
And I want to see something, like if I want to race or I jumped a big jump and I want to see it, but it'd be out of the frame or something.
Right.
And I just wanted to always capture the best quality content that I could for him,
right.
Because it's my son. I want to document him.
Absolutely.
But it just, I really just started doing it in September, and I was following his JV team. And then I was following the varsity team, at LaCanto, Tez and DeLonzo and all them boys. And they really brought some cool content, some cool moments.
Right.
And it just kept going. And so it just became like a passion to kind of help promote a lot of the kids in this area that wouldn't normally be able to get the kind of content that I make and wouldn't be able to afford it.
Uh-huh.
So for me, that's really important to be able to give that to a lot of the kids that wouldn't normally be able to get it.
That's awesome, man. So you say your dad used to kind of use his cameras and everything to record you in the motocross. What kind of equipment did he use back then?
He just had a little camcorder that he bought. It was nothing crazy,
right.
But it did get the job done when it could, and I was able to kind of, it was more for me. Just kind of learning and getting better, learning where I could get better and get faster on the track and stuff like that. But yeah, he wasn't no Picasso or nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But he got the job done.
He got the job. Yeah, he did, man.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's what's up. Let's talk about the sports scene around here. So, is there any work that you've done here recently that we can check out? Do you post on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? Where do you post that?
Absolutely, man. I've been down a little bit, a little sick lately, so I hadn't pushed as much content out. But recently, I went to the Villages for a baseball tryout. I documented that tryout there, and got some kids exposure out there too. So for Clubhouse is a baseball training facility in Brooksville.
Right.
And so they had a tryout for their club team, and that was a lot of fun. And, it's a lot of fun getting to know a lot of these young men and, seeing what sparks them and seeing their passion. But that was really cool. And I'm going to be doing a little more with some of the Showtime teams for 7v7 coming up. And I'm telling you, man, those boys are the most insane athletes. Like a lot of kids from the different teams. It is just insane how passionate they are about football, and you can see it in their play.
Right. You
can see how they communicate, and I love being out there. So that's what you're going to see coming up here pretty soon.
That's
a lot
awesome.
Of that action. Yeah,
I tell you what, man, that 7-on-7 is becoming more and more popular.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People hype it up. I think I seen Travis Hunter. He was at one of the events they had up there in Colorado. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not really participating, but it's kind of just being there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just if you balling on 7-on-7,
mm-hmm.
that usually translates to the regular football field.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're in a skill position, and you're a young man in high school, try to get involved in 7v7. I feel like that's something that's going to benefit you so much, to being able to do that kind of work in the off season at that intensity. Right. I mean, these boys ain't playing, man. They ain't playing around. So, and if anybody's watching, if you got a 7v7 event nearby, go check it out, because it's a lot of competitiveness. But especially with these Showtime boys, like, I've seen them compete, and it's cool to watch.
For real.
Yeah.
And if you can't check it out, at least my man Brandon's going to be, you can record it. So if you can't check it out, make sure you run them views up, man. I'm telling you, you're going to be capturing every moment. I've seen this work, and I can vouch for him, man. My man, he has skills when it comes to those lenses.
Thank you.
He know how to work his magic.
Thank you.
My man got Spike Lee over here, man.
I appreciate it.
Spike Lee of doing this type of thing, man. So
thank you.
That's fantastic. So, whenever you were growing up and everything, I know when I was growing up, I loved watching Michael Jordan. I love Bo Jackson. I love all these different athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the athlete that inspired you to to want to watch and
Right. So getting a motocross, I got a motocross a little later on, and there's a guy named James Stewart who I just really kind of idolized growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But before I got into motocross, my granddad actually played. He was a caddy for a lot of golfers at East Lake Golf Course in Atlanta.
Okay.
So he was a caddy. I think he said he worked with Bobby Jones and a couple of other older golfers that were really good. So golf was really my first love.
Okay.
And I was just through and through a Tiger dude.
Right.
Like I just watched Tiger every Sunday set records and close wins and victories, and just watching him come through in the clutch. And that was just like everything to me, you know, because I played a lot of golf growing up. So Tiger was definitely one, but also, you know, growing up in the A, Deion Sanders, prime time was just, he was the culture. You know, he was everything. And when he came to Atlanta, like I was young, but like when he came there, everything shifted about that franchise and that city. And people were excited to talk about football, you know, and you know, and they came Vic. But yeah, for me, it was really Tiger and then Deion before that, because Deion did so much, you know, baseball, he got off the plane, hit a home run in the World Series, and then go play a football game and, you know, run a touchdown. You know?
These young kids don't realize that. All they know is Coach Prime, you know, and, you know, he with the Colorado Buffaloes now. He was a coach at Jackson State. But Deion Sanders was the man. You know what I'm saying? It was only him and Bo Jackson doing what they were doing at that time.
Absolutely.
You know, so yeah, you're right, man. I guess. I mean, I should have named him too. You know, when I named Bo Jackson, everybody else. Primetime was that guy, man.
Yeah, he really was, and you know, it is insane. I feel like nowadays a lot of people really specialize, and I try to tell, you know, my son and man, if any young men listening, if you got any other talent in the football game, try to squeeze that out. Or if you know you're a baseball player, play different positions. My son, he can punt the ball well. I try to tell him, hey, use that to your advantage. Absolutely. You know, and you can get more opportunities to get on the field. You can do a lot of different, coaches can use you in different positions to benefit the team, you know. So just that's what Deion did. He went out, he used everything that he could, all his athleticism, to be able to, you know, benefit his team and help his team win games.
Right.
So, you know, if you're doing something, you're like, oh, I don't think it's cool, or I just want to play this position. No, you know, work all your strengths out, get everything out that you can, and use that to help the team, you know. And I felt like that's what Deion did.
That's what he did. A lot of people don't know Deion actually punted in high school.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he punted. Deion did it all, you know. And people don't realize, they think that he was very flamboyant and just very, you know, not a team player.
Right.
But some of his teammates, some of them come out even recently said that he's one of the best teammates that they've ever had.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just didn't talk to, you know, the people who you would think he would talk to, like Michael Irvins and the Jerry Wright. He would talk to everybody, you know, whether it be the offensive linemen, whether it be the kickers, everybody. So and that translates to him being a coach as well. I mean, you know, I know he didn't really have the season everybody thought he was going to have this year. But I tell you what, it's Coach Prime.
Yeah,
and he's a winner.
There are some people who just have undeniable success because they are completely focused and completely locked in on this goal.
Right.
And when they, you know, it's like Patrick Mahomes. Like, you know this guy, when he gets the ball with 2 minutes to go, he's going to make something happen.
Absolutely.
In the biggest moment. And that's how I feel about Coach Prime. I feel like when he was doing it as a player, he was getting it done, and I feel like that's going to translate into Division I college football
for sure.
And you know, he's already bringing them the money and all that stuff, but it's coming. I mean, I believe it, dude.
Like, I believe it too. My wife and I, we flew out of Colorado this year because we believe in it. You know what I'm saying? So we know it, man.
Yeah,
we know it's coming.
That's right.
So let's talk back to you, man. I mean, like when you are working, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I've tried to do and dabble in what you do a little bit. I mean, it's hard work,
right?
Because you know you have to be in the right position in the right time.
Right.
You have to find the right angle. You got to know what's going on in the sport.
Right.
Take us through, like, you know, your whole thought process and like how you're able to capture those moments.
Right. So when if let's say I'm doing a football game, because that's usually most of what I do, I like to capture just little candid moments and cool moments in the beginning of the game. So or not the game, but, you know, pregame and stuff like that. Just little things that just, you know, you normally wouldn't see, like kids walking, getting ready, just stuff like that. But when it comes to the game, you just have to understand the game. You got to understand what's happening in the game and know where you need to be. Usually I try to be in front of the action. So I want to be facing the offense, and I want to get players coming towards me. I want to see if they get tackled. I want to get their emotion when they pop up. Like, I made a little video, and I still got to finish this video, but I made like a little short clip of some 7v7 action with Showtime. And this kid, Ja, I forgot his last name, man. I'm sorry, Ja. Anyway, he scored this insane touchdown, and just his emotion when he jumped up, and he was just so excited and so pumped. And to me, capturing that stuff is just, it's so cool. It's so cool to get that, because that shows that passion and that love that these kids have for the sport, But I just usually try to be in front of the action, and it doesn't matter what side of the field I'm on. And I just try to put myself in the best position to capture the best moment, because you can't, you could I've gone to these big time games that were hyped up, be high scoring games, and they were duds, and nothing really happens. So, but you just got to still put yourself in the best position. And that's always in front of the action. I want to be looking at the offense, seeing the ball comes towards me. And that's when you get your best shots and best action.
That's awesome, because you can miss a lot of those moments with the naked eye.
Yeah.
But with your lens and everything, and your skill level, your skill set, you capture those moments. Yeah. Like I say, I tried to dabble into it a little bit, and I seen your work, and I quickly moved out of that lane. I was like, man, hey, this brother got it, man.
Yeah.
I said, look here, because you try to do the different things, and I was like, yeah, because we all got to find out our lane. We all got to understand. Yeah. Well, when we driving somebody else traffic. So I quickly swerved. I said, brother, you got it.
No, man. Yeah, well,
and I say this. When I say this, I mean this with nothing but good intentions. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? It's all love.
I got you.
And when I say that, I mean to say I want y'all to check out his work, because he does a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job.
Well, that the first time I met you was I think me and Christina was talking about was I think it was the Denell and 10U. It was one of their last games or whatever. Yeah, and you were filming, and like this was something I always wanted to tell you. Like before I even knew you, I just would hear people talk about Coach Chop, and I heard RJ talk about you too. Yeah, and for me, when people when there's smoke, there's fire. So when there's good smoke, there's something good about this person. Enough people have said good things about you. So first of all, I just wanted to say that, and
well, brother, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, man, it's I tell you, it's like I said, take a special eye, special talent to see these things, and like I said, you got it, man. It's tell us about just what it's like, and take us through like your setup, like your that whole process.
So I have a pretty basic type of it's not basic. So I use a camera called a Panasonic Lumix G85. Okay. And so that camera is it's a SLR camera, which basically you can take photos and you can film video from it, because I like to get photos too as well. Right. And I use what's called a cage that wraps around it, where it protects it, but I can also hold it, and I can use that as leverage, when I'm filming also. Right. And then I also like to use a monitor, a field monitor, what sits on top, and that kind of gives you a better idea of the exposure, how the camera's going to look like. If any of you kids put your phone up to the sun, and then you press the screen on the sun and everything changes. That's what exposure is. It's how much light is being put into the camera, into the lens, and that affects how it looks on the video screen. So I want to see that as detailed as possible so that I can do the least amount of correcting to the video when I'm editing it. Right. So that monitor that you'll see me looking at when I'm filming, that helps a lot. For production when I'm editing and everything like that. Right. Just with lighting and color. So I have a decent setup. Everyone wants to have more stuff like that, but that doesn't always make your content the best content. Right. You still have to know how to edit well. You still have to know how to get certain shots and make things look cool, and the camera's not always going to do that for you. So sometimes it's going to take you actually learning how to manipulate your camera in the best way possible to get the best shot. But But yeah, I always keep a lot of batteries. You can never have enough batteries because you could be leaving the camera on sometimes for 3-4 minutes
and not even know it.
Yeah, not even know it. And you don't have time. A lot of times I don't want to turn the camera off because I don't want to miss something.
Exactly.
And then they're like, yo, you get that catch, bro? Nah, man, I turned my camera off,
my battery.
Yeah, my battery's dead. And so I keep at least 6 camera batteries on me when I'm filming, and that are fully charged. And then I have, for my monitor, I have 2 different batteries. So I can always use that. Those last like 3-4 hours each. But that's it. And when I'm out, I always have some water. I always got some Skittles or some Sour Patch. And that's my deal, man. That's it. Yeah.
That's a secret sauce with Skittles, y'all. and as you heard, man, it's such skill that goes behind that. It's a science that goes behind that. Like you were saying, like capturing the right light. It ain't just you following the offensive side of the football or whatever. Yeah. I mean, you got to know your camera. Yeah. You got to know the lighting. You got to know everything. You know, all those are very key components to capturing good footage.
Absolutely, you're right. And it definitely took it took some effort to learn and to just try different things. I failed a little bit. I made some stuff that made me cringe. You know what I mean? Like I've done some things that I didn't like, but it all just helps you get better. Absolutely. And when you apply, it's like any sport that anybody's playing. When you know something that you don't like, work towards what you want to get better. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so that's, for me, it's the same thing with videography. Like, I know the things that I don't like how they look in post or like the shots that I get, but I can get better. You know, I can work on these moments, so I just, every time I go and film is exciting because it's an opportunity to try something different and get better and, get a different result. So absolutely. I just love it, man. I love it. Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. Yeah. Let's talk about, you mentioned the John kid. I know you couldn't think of his last name. Yeah. Talk about a couple of the kids around the area that you film. I know one of them for sure. You're talking about Ted, you're talking about Delonzo. Yeah. I tell you what, Chris Henry is probably right up there with one of the best athletes I've ever coached. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I know that you got good quality content with him. But you talk about some of the people you.
That's right. Yeah, you coached him. First of all, I'm gonna give Lecanto a shot.
Absolutely. Shout out to Lecanto. Yeah. Shout out to Lecanto.
Yeah. But, Coach, everybody there, man. But Tez is just an unreal, phenomenal athlete. Yes. And like, he's one of those guys, when I first noticed him is when Bray was doing 7v7 and Coach Polson pulled him up to go do that, just playing that one of the events that they had. Right. And when I saw Tez, it's like, you just know this dude's different from the way he looks on the field, the way he handles the ball, the way he plays, and
the way he carries himself,
you know, and like he, he wants this, you know, he wants to help his teammates. He's a good team player. And I watch that stuff. I don't always watch what's going on the field, but I watch who's doing what on the sidelines. Right. And he's always building guys up. A dude drops an easy pass, is like, come on, next play, let's go. Right. Like, that's the kind of dude, when I see him, that's who he is, Delonzo, he's just a tough dude. JT, unreal. This dude's killing it in basketball right now, but this dude is just the most unreal sophomore quarterback that I've ever seen.
Shout out to
Tip, man.
You still do your thing, JT.
And RJ's over there bringing them young bulls up, in the JV. So, but those boys, obviously that's home because my son goes there. But Chris Henry, man, this guy's just to be able to get an opportunity to go play for, the Mountaineers, man, like, that is insane. That's awesome, and it shows the work he's put in, the effort he's put in. Puncho, man, like the effort that he's put in working with his son, and giving him an opportunity to succeed. Sean Martin. Right. Like, he's another one, man. That kid is just a leader. He's a dog out there at Denellen.
Let me tell you, can I just say something about Sean? Yeah. Sean Martin, I mean, he don't get the credit that he deserves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When it comes to leadership, I mean, I just know, like, whenever he graduates, if he ever runs for president, Sean, if you listen to me, if you ever run for president, I'm voting for you, brother. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what your stance is on anything. Yeah. That kid is a leader.
He is.
He is a leader. And when he says things, he means it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned Puncho, man. I like him because he's old school. Yeah. And he's hard on him. I mean, the coach ain't got to get on to him. Mm-hmm. He the type of father and coach, you know, he gonna get on that backside. So shout out to Puncho. Yeah. For raising two awesome kids.
I respect him, man. I've been around Fred Gaskin a little bit, and you know, man, I've been around a couple other different guys that have gotten opportunities, and I'll tell you what, this is new to me, being around these young men. They're kids, they're young men, right? And being around them and seeing them get these opportunities to get to the next level, and it's exciting, man. It really is, and it inspires me. Like, I'm 36, I had a whole career, and now I'm doing something different, and I want to be pro at this. Like, I'm not doing this now just to play. Like, I want to do this for my life. Like, I enjoy this and I love doing this. And it inspires me, like, to see these young men, see Fred get his opportunity, to see old boy DJ Pickett in Zephyr Hills got his pick of the litter or whatever college he wants to go to right now. Like,
I'm pretty good.
He's still holding everybody hostage. Like, he's still got 5 offers that he's trying to pick from, you know, that's awesome. It's awesome to be in the opportunity. So for me to see that, I'm inspired, and I hope that anybody that's on his team or any of these other young men that are on these teams, when they see that, man, like, get inspired by that. Right. Like, that's insane. So, yeah, you know, DJ, Fred Gaskin, like.
A phrase from Vanguard, right?
Yeah, Vanguard.
Shout out to Chris Farmer and
absolutely. Absolutely. Them boys, I appreciate those guys over there for allowing me to come in and get some footage, too. You know, I filmed their game, their playoff game against Zephyr Hills. Yeah, when they played, DJ Pickett and Zephyr Hills came over, and they played a really good game that day. But that was really awesome. Those guys got a lot of energy. Like, Vanguard, I like that team. I like that. I like the energy they have there, and they're real, like, they dogs. You know, they get down. They get down over there. So, but those are the guys that I really had a lot of the opportunity. I've also filmed a little basketball for Williston. Mm-hmm. And those boys over there are awesome. Kyler Lamb, he is just one of the most well-rounded athletes. Like, he's more of a big, but man, he can shoot. He's got handles. He can do it all, you know. And he's getting offers too coming in. So it's just it's so cool to see that. It's so cool to see these young men get these opportunities to go to the next level, and it's like manifesting, happening for them, you know. And for me, when I see other people get success, I'm like, dang, I can do it too. Absolutely. Like, I can do it at 30, 40, 50, you know. So it's just cool. It's really cool, and I'm pumped on all these guys.
It's got to make you feel good for, you know, because you contribute to that success. You know, when you put their work out there, you know what I'm saying? That's work that, you know, if you weren't at these games, that those moments would not be captured. You know what I'm saying? So you contribute to a lot of these kids' success. And like I said, man, you're not doing it for play. Yeah. I mean, this is something that I feel like, you know, you got a career, you know, for many years to come in this thing, man. I mean, it's not just the athletes we have today, you know, 5, 10, 20 years, however long you want to do it. Right. I think that we can keep this thing going and really shed that spotlight, you know, in the Central Florida area.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. But that's my goal, man. It's just ultimately, it's fun, and I love making cool stuff, but it's really just to help them get exposure. It's help them have one more piece of film. And it might just be a piece of film, but I want to make it look as cool as I can, you know, and they can have that forever. You know what I mean? So I just think that's cool, man.
That means your heart's in the right place, brother. Yeah. That's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, I like to throw a little monkey wrench questions, you know, whenever I have a guest on the podcast, you know. Okay. So, you know, you see my studio, you know what I'm saying? My wife, she likes the Wu-Tang Clan. You see that poster behind me? Yeah. You know, behind me, I got a picture of Outkast, you know. You from Atlanta. I got an Atlanta hat on and everything. If you had a Mount Rushmore of hip-hop artists, now Mount Rushmore means 4. Mm-hmm. Now, it's hard to pick 4 hip-hop artists, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. Immediately, you know, you from the South, I'm from the South. I would pick all 4 people from the South. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got the East Coast, you got the West Coast. I know. But if you had to pick 4, like Mount Rushmore of hip-hop artists, who would that be?
So, obviously, being from the A, I'm going to go with Stankonia. I'm going to go with Outkast. I'm going to go with both of them because you know, like a lot of kids from Atlanta, like I try to rap a little bit. I think I'm a wordsmith. I thought I was pretty cool, but I got a lot of that from them,
right?
You know, and Goody Mob, like that was like, you know, kind of what I grew up.
Big Cool Joe, T-Lo.
Yes, sir, man. And so that was kind of what I grew up on. But I feel like those two are wordsmiths, like in the most insane way possible. So y'all young boys, just go back and listen to some Outkast, you know. Go listen to some, they'll you know. I ain't gonna say nothing about the rap nowadays, but I'm gonna just say, go listen to Outkast.
If you want storytelling, if you want like, you know, and they talk about something, you know what I'm saying? Because there's more than just talk about, you know, pills and killing and all that stuff.
Oh my God.
I know you gotta get hyped for the game. I know it ain't all about the words and everything, but you know, our generation, you know, hip hop artists, they told stories. You know what I'm saying?
And I, you know, I always said I'd never be like that, but I know I sound like, you know, I'm an old head, but it's so different, man. It's so different. Like I even talked with my son and I'm like, man, after a while, like you gotta listen to something with some substance.
Right.
Like, like not just the same like over and over, you know.
You can't eat candy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You gotta eat some food, man. You know what I'm saying? And what he's saying right now is Outkast and all these different artists from back, that's food.
Exactly.
Soul food.
Exactly. Like the movie. Yeah. Right. So but yeah, Outkast, J. Cole would be the third.
Yes.
And everything like I just appreciate everything that he embodies. I feel like, you know, he's not one of the top. He's never been one of the guys at the top, you know, as far as like charting and stuff like that. Right. But I feel like he's well recognized as just one of the best rappers, you know, in wordplay. Dude, he is. I just always been a big fan of his. That last spot though, man, it might be a West Coast dude. Like it'd be between like Tupac and Kendrick.
Oh yeah,
because like. I grew up with hearing Tupac. Right. I grew up Biggie. I mean, I love Biggie too, but man, Kendrick also, he, you know, the way he puts some stuff together, right. I don't know.
Hey, Kendrick be snapping. I ain't gonna lie. I'm an old head. Kendrick be snapping on the beat.
Yeah. So Kendrick, man, I like him, you know. Good Kid, Mad City, like that was probably, you know, even you know, his other album, I forgot his other album, but yeah, Kendrick, I think I would put him in the fourth spot.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I like that list. Yeah. You got Outkast. Look, you always got anybody invitation to my house. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Maybe notice he didn't mention any Wu-Tang members. So.
That's that East Coast, man. It just, you know, it's different. I just didn't grow up on it. You know,
I like boom bap rap too, but you know, ain't got that Southern feel.
Yes, sir.
So if someone was trying to get in contact with you to promote their athlete, how could they do that?
You can find me on Instagram, Alpha Leo Productions, Facebook, Alpha Leo Productions, and you can hit our email at alphaleomedia@gmail.com. And I'm just catching up, you know, with a lot of messages. I'll be honest, I didn't expect the Alpha Leo to grow to what it is now, you know, and I just, I'm shocked, you know, to be honest, like I'm shocked how fast it grew so quickly. So, you know, just be patient, you know, if I don't get back to you at, you know, the same day or the same, you know, week or whatever, but we're trying to get back to everybody and see where we can fit people in. But alphaleomedia@gmail.com, and then Instagram and then Facebook. So that's where YouTube, Alpha Leo Productions. That's where I put all of my longer form content. You know, if I go and film a game, I try to put all the highlights that I can in every video. And so any person that got any kind of highlight, they can see it, they can find it. So yeah, YouTube is where you'll find more of the longer form content. But yes, that's it.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, man, I just want to pray blessings over your business. Make sure that you reach out to Brandon. You know, he gave you his information. And let's get these kids recognized and off to the next level.
So. I want to say this too, man. If you're a young athlete and you're serious about going pro, you need to practice media. You need to practice being in front of a camera, practice being in front of a microphone. I'm telling you, man, I'm not going to say the athlete's name, but I've seen a dude that plays for a championship team going on social media and saying crazy stuff and doing this stuff and ruining his opportunities. Right. You need to practice interviewing after a loss. You need to practice being present for people who are, you're supposed to be getting paid to do these interviews. Like, absolutely, you need to be professional. So whenever you have an opportunity to get on a podcast, a video, do it. Practice this stuff. Practice being a pro if you want to be a pro. So that's just my last little thing.
I tell you, hey, that was $1 million worth of game right there. And we didn't have nothing else to say about in this podcast. Young guy, I'm telling you right now, learn how to speak, learn how to control your emotions. If you lost, you can't be sounding like you lost. That's $1 million worth of game you just gave, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's good. So I hope you guys were listening. So, all right, man. Like I said, always a pleasure.
We want you to be a part of this incredible journey, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. When you subscribe, you'll be the first to know about new episodes, game recaps, and inspiring stories.